After starting the season 10-1, the Eagles have lost 4 of their last 5 games, no longer controlling their own destiny in the NFC East. Philly's defense has been the issue, since week 12. They've allowed more than 31 points per game, nearly 400 yards per game. Both of those marks, second worst in the NFL, ahead of only the Commanders. Dan, what's going on with this Eagles defense?
Everything that could be bad about this defense right now is bad about this defense. If you go to third down, and we talked all year how they are one of the, if not the worst, third down defenses in football. Go to the Arizona game. It's 3rd and 5. Look at where these two corners are. They are not making anything challenging for Kyler Murray and his wide receiver. I feel like I'm watching the Packers. We are giving a first down there. You're not taking the first down as an offense. They give it to you. Second of all, the interior of their defensive line. Marcus, you could speak to this greater than I, but look at this interior defensive line. I can read those numbers. If you're on the sideline, you're turned so I can read your number. And this Arizona offense just dominated it. If you go a little bit later in this game, interior defensive line. Last time I could read your numbers, this time I could read my numbers. This hole is absolutely enormous. There's no holding the point or holding a double team. And if all those things are starting to present themselves, someone's got to get off a block. We say this all the time, go make a play. Number 1 can't, 2 can't, 3 can't. There's very little signs of guys that can get off blocks. And so we ask the question all the time, like, what is this team good at? I don't know one thing that defensively they're good at. Slay can cover, I'll give him that, but he's not healthy right now. We'll see if Amante Maddox can come back. Also, Philly, can you stop taking Hassan Reddick and dropping him into coverage and just let him rush the passer? So right now, it's almost worse than it was under Sean Desai.
Complacency, D.O., is the word that came to mind when I watched them, because they need to add people in pressure, and they won't, because they drunk on last year and how their 4-man rush was able to get after the quarterback. And to your point about that run game, at some point you just got to play technique. I guarantee you, if I call Big Fletch, what you start doing is you start sack chasing, right? You try to get after the quarterback more than because it's not happening. And this is what we're used to. And there's a song called Lean on Me, but it ain't no brothers to lend a helping hand on this defense in the front or the back. So when you start talking about the Philadelphia Eagles defense, it needs to be a schematic change, or these guys need to get back to playing technique and earning their right to rush the passer. Y'all know I say that all the time. And look, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I've played against this Arizona run scheme before. It's a difficult scheme if you want to go fast. If you want to play technique and cover your gaps, it's a really easy run game to defend. But I saw time after time these defensive linemen trying to get after the quarterback, trying to get upfield and getting gashed underneath. Dan, when you saw those numbers turned, it's because they're not playing blocks. They're trying to go create havoc in the backfield. And you start doing that when you struggle defensively, because you're always thinking about the negative play. They need to get more aggressive with blitzing and stop leaning on this 4-man rush as well.
It'll be interesting. I want to hear Mina's thought on it, fella, because I don't know if there is a schematic or structural change that can help them. I don't know what Mina's thoughts are.
Mina, is it fixable?
There's no schematic fix for getting pushed around. There were some issues with scheme. Dan, you pointed out Reddick dropping into coverage. The Cardinals came out with the 2 tight ends, and it was easy pickings for them a couple of times. But that wasn't the main problem in this game. I think with the Philadelphia Eagles, if you had told me, well, they're struggling to stop the run because of the linebacker position, that would make sense. We knew that was a weakness, a question mark coming into this season. But watching this tape, I was so struck by the miscues in tackling at all 3 levels. You had defensive linemen getting bodied by pullers. You had safeties and corners taking terrible angles. This is just fundamentals. And moving forward, when you ask, can they be better, it really comes down to, can the players play better? Because nobody's walking through that door to help them.
And Marcus, what do you think?
Pick me, because I love when we start talking about D-line play. MK and D.O., you are right. There is no schematic fix. There's a technical fix.
Okay.
And right now, this defensive line, they are not playing blocks. To your point, meaning when you get pullers, your defense determines based on leverage whether you're going to spill or whether you're going to edge and push the ball back inside. They have no idea what the outside defender is doing. You can tell linebackers are overrunning on hedges when you're trying to push the ball back inside. And when they spill, the linebackers are up in the line of scrimmage, giving up the edge. There are technical things that they can do.
Is that a communication
Do I think they can get
thing?
better? I don't know.
Oh.
Yes, Boogie. Yes, it's a communication thing. But it's also having a staple in how you play defense from a communication standpoint. Guys, when we get this look and we get this puller, the end of man on the line of scrimmage is going to spill the football. That lets your linebackers know we can be fast flow to the outside. Based on look, we are going to hedge this block. So now the ball should turn back inside. They are so out of sync with playing together. And y'all know, I talk about the run game. You build a wall where you force people in the gaps, and then when it gets to the outside, you got to have a guy to set the edge and make plays. They have no idea what their next man is doing next to them, and they're giving up yardage in the run game, sometimes due to their own fault.
See, what's interesting for me, Marcus, is that sounds like coaching, okay? Like that sounds like coaching to me. But then I also go, well, Fletcher Cox, veteran. Brandon Graham, veteran. Shaq Leonard, veteran. Josh Sweat, veteran. Like, why haven't those guys, maybe they have, but like, if it's coaching in that regard, those guys have played a lot of football.
Dude, the frustration that you feel is what I feel, because I think that is a veteran thing. Like stopping the run, y'all, I was always taught, is like 60% of your mindset, right? We talk about the physicality and all of that. But the technical part of stopping the run is really how you do it. It's not about having an Aaron Donald or a Fletcher Cox. It's about how we're playing on a string in order to get run stopped. So it is coaching. But remember, they made a defensive coordinator change in the middle of the season as well. So there are issues there that they have addressed and identified.
Yeah, just a reminder, as they're referencing Sean Desai, he's no longer calling the defense. Matt Patricia calling the defense. We'll keep an eye on this. Sounds like there's not an easy fix, but maybe there is a fix. So we'll see if they do it.